G'day there once again viewers, this is your mate Kamikaze78 here, coming to you guys with some more Planetside 2 content, and today my dudes and dudettes, we're going to be reviewing this piece of work, the MG-A1 Arbalest assault rifle that is available to the TR Combat Medic Division. Now, this here is a 6-round burst assault rifle, and look guys, I'm all for giving every weapon in the game the benefit of the doubt to say that it has a place in the grand scheme of things, but damn! I, honest to God, can't think of a weapon in the game right now that I wouldn't rather use over this godforsaken thing. I'd rather use a goddamn snowball gun. Now I know that's a meme weapon, but at least it knows it's a meme weapon. This is kind of a meme weapon, but it doesn't know that yet. Anyway, for those who are here and are new to my channel and my weapon reviews, we go over the weapon statistics to start things off, discuss some strategy for using it in the battlefield, and also go over the attachment options for making it slightly more enjoyable. But for those who don't have the time to sit through a 10-minute plus review for a weapon in a video game, let's do a quick TLDR of the weapon straight up here. The Arbalest. Oh dear, I'm honestly not entirely sure what this weapon is meant to be by any stretch of the imagination. I've reviewed plenty of weapons here on the channel, and this has certainly come up to be one of the most confusing designs that I've ever come across. It has a damage model that requires 8 rounds to kill, and features a 6-round burst with a very mediocre fire rate, which suggests that this is a weapon that is designed to be accurate and more of a sustained support weapon. But then the mag size only allows for 7 bursts per mag unless you mount the pretty much required attachment, which will then, reduce that to 6 bursts per mag, and also features an incredibly erratic recoil pattern that makes it nigh impossible to keep your fire on your targets for a decent amount of time and stay accurate enough to use it at range consistently. So in all honesty, I seriously don't know what to do with this thing to make it effective enough to suggest it above anything else that's in the game right now. And because you need 8 shots to kill and you're dealing with 6-shot bursts, you're going to see 4 rounds of your second burst wasted completely, which just makes for horrid magazine economy and therefore more reloading. And spoiler alert, the reload time is not great here either. The downtime is as a result stupidly high for a weapon of this style. All burst fire weapons that exist in the game prior to this one have got high alpha damage with low forgivability and a low end downtime. But this weapon has none of those. In fact, it is the complete opposite without committing to the balancing that would be necessary to make it worthwhile using. Now yes, the gameplay may show me being able to get some kills here and there with this thing, and I will admit, there were some brief moments of enjoyability with the weapon, but they were sort of random and a bit unpredicted. And for that reason, my god, I would not recommend this thing over any other option you have. Hell, I would even pick a wet napkin over this thing, just due to how confused it is. Anyway, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the review for those who are still a little bit interested in going through why this weapon is the sad and unimpressive little brother of the Saber 13. Our damage model here sits at 125 maximum at 10 meters and drops off to 100 at 70 meters, which for a burst weapon is actually the weakest in the game we have right now. Anyway, that sees us with an 8-round kill at the 10 meter mark, a 9-round kill at the 40 meter mark, and a good old 10-round kill out at the 70 meter mark. So you need to have pretty good accuracy to ensure that you don't find yourself actually needing to dump a 3rd burst into your target, which, well, we'll see you needing to drop pretty much half your magazine on one target. So once again, not good round economy. Anyway, if we take the damage model that we have listed here above and combine it with the fire rate of 690 rounds per minute, or 11.5 rounds per second, we find ourselves with some incredibly theoretical time to kills of 0.61 seconds at the 10 meter mark, 0.7 seconds at the 40 meter mark, and 0.79 seconds at the 70 meter mark. And keeping in mind that just because this is a burst fire weapon, you would need to be sampling the weapon's refire rate at just the right speed to actually max out the damage model and come close to these theoretical time to kills. It's pretty much nigh impossible to do. Now, when it comes to the recoil, surely this will be the saving grace of the weapon back into the realm of effectiveness. Ha! Top joke. I am not joking that every single directional influence of this weapon's recoil is a variable wherein which the pattern is changed constantly. Your vertical recoil, horizontal recoil, and recoil angle all can adjust in severity per shot and sometimes in direction. Why? Well, because fuck you, that's why. There is no way to predict what this monster of a thing is going to do to your arms as you shoot it. Don't believe me? Here's the stats. The vertical recoil has a kick range between 0.16 degrees and 0.2 degrees per shot, which is light on its own, but is inconsistent as hell, and is also powered by a 2.25 times first shot multiplier per burst, which will take it up to 0.36 to 0.4 degrees for every time you initiate a burst here. The horizontal kick ranges between 0.15 degrees and 0.2 degrees per shot in combination with the horizontal tolerance of 0.2 degrees, which means that you will see the weapon either kick once or twice before being forced back in the opposite direction, which means you're going to get some fairly erratic left and right shake with this thing at random severity once again. And, you know, you want one more middle finger thrown into the mix? The recoil angle will shift between -8 and 8 degrees, meaning that a left or right influence is really a roll of the dice here. Using this thing is as stable as having a dipshit friend tickling you while you try to fire it. It's honestly inaccurate as hell, which almost guarantees you'll be needing to use that extra unnecessary burst on your target just for that one last round to hit that you've missed on the previous burst. Once again, ruining that, bullet economy. The cone of fire values on the weapon are actually on the tighter side of things versus the NC's Vanquisher, which makes this pretty much the only saving grace for the weapon's accuracy, but well, your bullets are going to be going where your crosshair is pointed, so that doesn't really mean shit when your crosshair is as jittery as the dude that's about to get caught for a DUI. As far as the rest of the weapon is concerned, it features a 42 round mag with a 252 round ammo pool that is reloaded in 2.5 seconds for a short reload and 3.25 seconds for a long reload, once again on the longer side of things here. It also has a 0.5 times aiming down sights movement multiplier and a 580 meters per second muzzle velocity. I really just want to know one thing here. What happened? Like, I am convinced that an NC R&D specialist made their way into the TR research headquarters and made this weapon his lifelong project. An elaborate prank, if you will, that sees the less than optimal weapon being pushed to the soldiers of the TR for them to waste their hard-earned certifications on. To that NC bloke that's out there, well played to you, sir. Very well played. In all seriousness, guys, this is a weapon I just can't understand. The lacking damage output suggests a CQC emphasis with a fast rate of fire, but then its slower rate of fire, and the fact that this thing is just, a burst fire rifle suggests that it's more of a support, long-range orientated weapon. But then the clusterfuck that is the recoil pattern steps in and just goes, nah. I don't get it. This is a weapon that has been implemented with the concept of being unique, but it just doesn't execute that at all. I understand that the TR already have a dope AR with a long-range burst fire option, but surely something a little bit more effective could have been drafted up than what this thing is. Anyway, let's just say that you hate yourself, like, a lot, or you're craving a really unnecessary challenge. How do you make the most of it? Well, it's honestly hard to come up with stuff here beyond just pray, but there are a couple of things. First, try to time your shots at range and give yourself time to adjust after each burst when at range. It is damn tempting to simply hold down the trigger until your target miraculously drops, and the 6 times burst fire makes it simply more natural to follow this behavior. But I seriously urge that you have to hold your fire and make sure you're placing your rounds accurately. Remember that the recoil pattern is hard to manage, and there is no stopping mid-burst if you lose your target. You are committed to 6 shots no matter how bad the shit show is becoming. So, by ensuring your first shot is on target, it will give you a higher chance of making the most of your burst. Also, really try to take a backline position here when using this weapon. You are simply not going to be the Terminator that you may be used to being, and going on endless sprees is simply not going to be a thing here unless you're extremely lucky. Let your ally heavies and light assaults cop the brunt of the enemy firepower, and be there to follow up the rear with some supporting fire and keeping your allies healed up. In all seriousness, guys, I don't really have any other tips other than spend your 1,000 certs on something else. That is the best tip I can give for this weapon right now. And because of that, I'm going to dedicate a couple of suggestions to make this weapon a little bit more effective in one of two ways. Method number one, increase the damage profile to be able to kill in one burst at CQC comfortably, but increase the recoil to make this a devastating CQC powerhouse that requires some incredible crosshair placement and has a shaky long-range recoil pattern. Or, method number two, decrease the recoil of the weapon by a country mile and leave the damage profile the same to incentivize a more supportive roll at longer distances. One of these two ways will cover a niche that the TR don't yet have in a burst rifle, and will actually give the weapon a reason to be used beyond a meme, because that's what it is right now, a meme weapon. It's a meme weapon though that doesn't know it's a meme weapon yet, which is a little bit dodgy. Personally, I would like to see the weapon focus more towards being a CQC powerhouse in a high risk, high reward kind of form. We don't have that a lot in the game right now, especially on the TR side of things, so I think that'd be a nice niche of an assault rifle for them. But let's just say you are headstrong about following said meme into combat as it is right now. Alright, I've done what I can to veer you clear, let's talk attachment options. The weapon has access to a 1x to 4x optics, including the 1x RNV sight, a flash suppressor, stabilizing rotor, dark light flashlight, laser sight, forward grip, incendiary launcher, and impact ammunition. Now, straight out of the gate, grab the forward grip and the stabilizing rotor. They bring the recoil down to a level that actually moves the weapon into a realm that understands the definition of accuracy, but only just. It isn't a magic fix, if you will, but it is a start. The impact ammunition should also be your next best bet, followed closely by a sight that best fits the engagement distance you find yourself in. I found that pretty much most of the sights here actually work at some point or rather, which is a first for me actually when it comes to these weapon reviews. I will say that a 2x was a nice middle ground and, sort of meshed out with the most amount of engagement scenarios I can come up with. And just on one last note from me, guys, I personally hate weapons that require an attachment in order to make them competitive. I feel as though attachments in this game should be a way to augment a weapon into a playstyle that players want to use them more in, but for this weapon you absolutely have to run stabilizing rotor and the forward grip in order to actually bring the recoil down. And on top of that, you also need to run impact ammunition, which reduces your ammo count per magazine by 6, which again just makes the weapon a lot less stable in the long run. I don't know, guys, that concludes today's weapon review on the Arbalest. As you can tell, I'm not a fan of the gun, but in saying that, if you are enjoying this weapon, then please don't let this video deter you. Enjoy it all you want. I just think that the weapon is statistically a bit of a mess right now and needs a bit of a balance pass to bring it back into a realm of usability. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, a backhanding that like button would be greatly appreciated, and if you find yourself new to the channel, backhand that subscribe button whilst you're at it, and I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. All of my media and social media links is linked in the description down below for you guys to come check out, hang out with us in Discord, Twitch, and Twitter. It's always good to see you guys there. And if you have any tips or tricks for using the Arbalest yourself, then feel free to share those in the comment section down below. Once again, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good one.